Hello and welcome to Open Line. I'm Starlene Stringer. Well, in April, we celebrated the 50th anniversary of Earth Day, when the phrase reduce, reuse, recycle became the rallying cry for the environmental movement. In Irving, the centerpiece of the city's efforts to help the environment is the Think Green, Be Green initiative. We're continuing to practice social distancing, so this edition of Open Line features online interviews with Melissa Baker, Public Works Administration's manager, and Emily Asbury, Environmental Programs Coordinator for the City of Irving. Thank you so much for joining us, ladies.
Thank you for having us.
It's a pleasure. Now, in the years since the start of Think Green, Be Green, the initiative's been very successful with regional and national awards and recognition. So let's start our discussion with Melissa giving us an overview of your scope of services.
Well, thank you for having us. First of all, it's a pleasure to be here. Environmental initiatives are something that are dear to my heart and to Emily's heart. And the city of Irving is on the forefront and is a regional national leader, as you mentioned. Some of the things that we have been working on lately include the 100% renewable contract that the city has with TXU at a very amazing rate. In addition to that, we've also implemented several programs, several projects and programs, classes, as well as public outreach efforts. We've also implemented in the last several years electric vehicle charging stations, and we were one of the first local municipalities to implement those stations all across the city. So we're very happy about that as well.
You should be. That's a lot of ground to cover. Very impressive. And no wonder you've had so much recognition. Now, Emily, there's a relatively new addition to the lineup, the Green Neighborhood Program, which promotes a greener lifestyle. How does that program work?
Sure. Yeah, we're very excited about this program. The idea behind it was to show residents that you can be green, and a lot of people are already doing green, environmentally friendly things. So how this program works is it's totally voluntary, all digital, online. What the resident would do is they go to the website and pick out the Green Neighbor program, and there's two lists to choose from. One, if you own your own single family house. And then we also made a list because a large portion of Irving rents or is in apartments. So you kind of have different things you can do in those two different scenarios. So you pick the list that works for you, and you pick all the items on the list that you do or you want to start implementing into your life. If you reach half of them, then you're a green neighbor, and you can get a little yard sign or a sticker that you can display to all your friends and family. And a lot of the items include things like if you have a house, putting pollinator-friendly plants in your yard, energy-efficient appliances, using reusable grocery bags, things like that, things that are very accessible to everyone and anyone, because the whole point of this program is to show that everyone can go green. Doesn't matter where you are in life, what your budget is. We want it to be very, friendly to everyone. So we're very excited about it, and we're hoping that our neighborhoods and our communities really start to rally behind it and maybe even get competitive, see how many green neighbors they can get in their neighborhood. So we're very excited about that.
I like that, making it a challenge, like a little competition. That usually works, especially here in Texas. So Melissa, if someone's listening right now and they want to accept Emily's challenge, how do viewers actually get involved in the program?
Absolutely. You can go to the Think Green, Be Green website, and there's a link there to the Green Neighbor Program. Again, what Emily said was correct. It is a voluntary program. There is a checklist on there. So you can do a self-audit and check the different boxes. And again, if it's something where you've reached some of the initiatives, but not all of them, definitely contact Emily and she can help you get it across the goal line.
Sounds great. Now, Melissa, what are your plans going forward for the Green Neighbor Program?
Absolutely. We are looking right now at expanding that program. And then also through the leadership of our mayor and council, as well as our Green Advisory Board, who leads a lot of these initiatives, we are looking to expand this type of model and program to the businesses in our community. So we're looking at doing what would be called a green business certification program. And that would be targeting all of our industry and our private companies. And so we're looking at taking this neighborhood program and expanding it, hopefully with a future rollout to the businesses.
Sounds really interesting. And Emily, to touch more on that, do you have something in the works specifically for local businesses and industries to get involved in the Green Initiative right now?
Yeah, so like Melissa mentioned, we're working on our green business certification program, and we've already gotten a lot of interest. We've been talking with the Chamber of Commerce to engage our local businesses in that. And a lot of businesses already have a sustainability initiative
Mhm.
because it saves them money and also looks good to their shareholders, clients, et cetera. So we're working on that. And I actually get businesses reaching out to me all the time, asking about ways they can go green, asking about what programs the city has. So we think this is something that businesses really want to see. And we're already starting to engage with them on this initiative. So we think it will be a very popular thing once it's up and running.
Sounds like it. It's really fun to see people going green and getting more involved. Now, Emily, there are a lot of projects under the umbrella of the Think Green, Be Green. The EV charging stations at City Hall and other locations come to mind. What can you tell us about that project?
Sure. Well, that was started by a grant several years ago. And we have 4 charging stations at City Hall, 3 at the West Irving Library, and 3 at the Irving Convention Center. And what we wanted to do is it was a regional effort to help make North Texas more connected in EV charging stations, because the thought of the past was, if I have an electric car, what if I run out? You don't have gas stations with electric chargers at it. So this was an initiative to really connect the region with more chargers. So if you are running low, you can just stop at the library, go browse books while you're charging. And we've gotten a lot of success with it. People use them, and EVs, electric vehicles, are getting more popular every year. So it's something we're very excited about to have in the city of Irving.
It is very exciting. Melissa, would you like to add to that?
I think it is a regional effort. It's something that we started off with the grant program, but through negotiations and the leadership of our mayor and council, we've been able to continue having those charging stations, and they're a true benefit to our community. So we're happy about it.
Hey, something else everyone's really happy about, at least me, I say everyone, I mean me, but there's probably others out there celebrating this too. I know back in 2016, Melissa, the city partnered with the National Wildlife Federation for a project around monarch butterflies, which I love, and other pollinators. Well, what is the mayor's Monarch Pledge and why is it so important?
Yes, the mayor's monarch pledge is really just our effort to sustain the monarch butterflies, and it's a commitment to do so, at our local level. And so we're really excited about that. There's a lot of different local projects that we contribute into, and then there's a reporting structure every year that we report our efforts. And so the monarch butterflies are important to us as well, and so we were really excited to see that on our local level. Absolutely.
That's wonderful. People like me who really, really love this idea. Emily, what can viewers do to support this pledge?
Sure. Well, the monarch butterflies are so important, especially here in Irving. We're right in the middle of the migration flyway for monarch butterflies. So it's really important while they're making this huge migration to have places to stop and rest. You can't imagine driving cross country without ever stopping for food or sleep, and monarchs need the same. So one plant that's really vital for them is milkweed, but also any native flowering plants you can have in your yard, or if you live in an apartment complex, maybe encourage your landscaping company to plant more native plants, because those are the most beneficial to our local pollinators. And of course, we all know how important pollinators are and the struggles they've had lately. And every year we try to have at least one class that we'll talk about in a little bit about pollinators and how you can support them. So check the Think Green, Be Green website. We have a lot of really good resources on there as well.
You sure do. I love that. Okay, so Melissa, I want to come to you because probably the only positive side effect of COVID-19 is the change in air quality in large urban areas. But you've been involved in a regional initiative around air quality for a while now. So can you tell us about Air North Texas?
Yes. Actually, we have been involved with the North Central Texas Council of Governments, our COG, in all of their air quality initiatives, whether it's public awareness and, sending out the different notifications for if it's a red or an orange or yellow day. We've also been participating with them in Air North Texas, which is a regional effort to try to collaborate and get the public outreach from a regional level out to all of our residents, letting them know not only what is going on with air quality, but also what are those efforts that they can use in order to help mitigate, whether that's ride share, whether that's the ride pooling, whether that's different modes of transportation that they can use, and then also our biking efforts.
Interesting. And you talk about these different partnerships. Emily, what is the Green Power Partnership specifically?
The Green Power Partnership is something we're really excited to be a part of. It's through the Environmental Protection Agency, which is a federal agency through the federal government. And basically what it is it encourages all organizations, they have schools, cities, businesses, to increase their renewable energy usage. And so recently, I think it was in the last year, we upped our membership with them, because it used to be just the West Irving Library that has its own geothermal, solar energy creation, and we made it organization-wide because now the city uses 50% renewable energy in our contract. Mm-hmm. And that actually made us ranked number 1 as far as local governments. Sorry, not number 1, number 21 local governments, which we're very excited about. And it's been a really great partnership because they encourage using renewable energy. And as a city, if we can be a leader and show by example, that's something that we're really excited about. So it's a really cool organization. Like I said, they have all sorts of different organizations that are part of it.
It sounds very cool. And yeah, that's okay to start shooting for number 1. 21 is great, but I can tell that you are like, we are going to be number 1. I love
Positive
that.
attitude. Yeah.
Exactly, right? We love that. Okay, so Melissa, think green, be green is so important. And it also is as well a very important part of all that the city is doing. We've talked about the current status of the city's involvement in the Green Power Partnership. So as we talk about think green, be green, it being well known for the great learning opportunities you provide, let us know. Let's take a look now at your outreach programs.
Mm-hmm. Yes, the outreach programs actually over the past year or two have really grown, from classes and just kind of school outreach with the Irving ISD, to expand to our bicycle fest, as well as our home energy event that we did for the first year last year, and then our environmental career symposium. So we are reaching out to the elementary and the junior high, and then we're also now reaching out to the high school and the graduate level so they can find environmental careers that might suit them with our environmental career symposium. The home energy fair is something that's recently a new initiative for us as well, starting last year, and that is to reach out to our residents on how can you use your home to be an environmental source for the community and for yourself. And so we brought in lots of different private companies and public companies, public organizations that would help different residents to do that, whether that's your solar companies, whether that's Home Depot, TXU Energy. So we had a lot of different sponsors in that as well. And then, of course, our Bike Fest initiatives to encourage bike safety and the use of bicycles. So I think we've went from classes, which are very important to us, but also major regional events where we can be on the forefront of environmental initiatives, from energy to bicycles and different modes of transportation, to a workforce standpoint, where we say, do you have an interest in what we do and what we like? And if you do, there are ways to build a career based off of that, and be able to enjoy that career and provide, a regional benefit and a benefit to the city using your skill set. And so that's what the symposium brings as well. So I think we're really proud with the enhancements that we've done in public outreach, and we look forward to being able to do more.
Impressive, for sure. You mentioned classes. So Emily, can you tell us more about those?
Sure. So what we do is we plan throughout the year. It's on average about 2 classes per month. And I try to do them at different libraries or rec centers throughout the city, so it's easy for everyone to go to different ones. There will always be something nearby at some point. And so what we do is we have different topics, anything related to environmental. Our really popular classes tend to be gardening, especially organic gardening, pollinator gardening. Like we mentioned earlier, people love to learn what will bring butterflies and bumblebees to their yard. We've also had classes on birding, so either bird watching, attracting birds to your yard, especially hummingbirds. We had a really popular hummingbird class last year. And I always send out a survey to people who attend our classes and ask, what do you want to see? Because of course, as a city, we want to provide what the people are interested in. And so some topics we're really excited about in the future are going to be vermicomposting, which is composting with worms. Also recycling. A lot of people asked if they could just have a class on recycling. How does it work? Where does our recycling go? How does recycling work in Irving? So we always try to get feedback from our residents and see what they're interested in. And we always get a good turnout. So we're really excited about that. And due to current circumstances, we're trying to move some of our classes online. So keep a lookout for more videos, webinars that will be available to you. So.
I love it. I love it. Lots of different options and something for everyone. And you mentioned, recycling. I'm like, I can do that. You mentioned worms and I went, ew, I'm out, but my daughter would love it. So there's something for everyone for sure.
It's a very popular class. So.
I bet it is. I bet it is. Okay, so Melissa, how can viewers register for these classes?
Absolutely. Go to the Think Green, Be Green website, and there's drop downs to those classes. Emily will get an email notification of that, that you have registered for those classes. And then I just want to make a note, if I could, if there's something you are interested in that you do not see on our list, if there's, let's say, a canning class, we've had people wanting to know how to do that. We've had things about community gardens and, what kind of things can I plant and when can I plant them in my backyard and things like that, bird watching. So there's all different kinds of things. And if there's something that interests you that you don't see or that we haven't mentioned today, please shout out to us and give us an email, and we can definitely look at incorporating some of those.
Well, that's wonderful. And you guys have kind of talked on this a bit, but Emily, I'm sure this great information is definitely in demand from local civic groups and schools too. So do you have those kinds of outreach opportunities as well?
Yes. So we get requests all the time from, like you mentioned, schools, gardening clubs, even businesses that are having like a sustainability day or something like that. They'll ask me, hey, can you come talk about whatever specific topic it is? And I'm always happy to do so. So for example, I did a career day a couple months ago for elementary schoolers and just talked about what it's like to work for the environment. We talked about what it's like, what things in nature do they like, and is that something they're interested in, protecting our environment? So I'm always happy to do that. We've spoken to HOA organizations, and really whatever topic is interested to you, I'm happy to put together a presentation. So for instance, for HOAs, maybe it is kind of like our Green Neighbor program. How do you go green in your house? I can come and give a presentation about kind of quick and easy ways that you can slowly become a little more environmentally friendly. So we're always happy to attend those clubs or meetings or schools, whatever it may be. I'm always happy to get out there in the public and share the message.
That's wonderful. So if someone's watching right now and they'd like to book you to speak or set up a Zoom meeting for their HOA or club, how can they go about reaching you?
Sure. Well, I believe we're going to be showing my email address and phone number, but also if you go to the Think Green, Be Green website, my name, email, and phone number is on almost every page if you look to the side. It's Emily Asbury, Environmental Programs Coordinator, and you can reach me any way you want, phone or email, and I always get back to you, and we can certainly figure something out.
Perfect. Look, another thing that Think Green, Be Green is known for is great community events. Once we're past this health challenge, I'm sure you'll want to get back and gear things up. So let's talk about some of the events you're known for. Melissa, can you tell us all about Bike Fest?
Absolutely. And thank you for bringing it up. And we definitely miss being out there and doing our events. So we are anticipating that and very excited about coming back out. Yes, our Bike Fest is an annual event that we do, and we partner with North Lake as well as with DART, Dallas Area Rapid Transit, and we go out there and we have different booths, and then we have what my favorite part, which is the bike rodeo, where students and young children can get out there and ride their bike and go around and learn about bike safety, how to stop, how to go around cones, different things of that nature. And we have lots of different environmental vendors out there. And so that's an event normally in the springtime. So normally right around now, April or May. We do that. And so they come out and learn about bike safety and learn about different vendors that support the environment.
I love that. Are there other attractions for kids?
Absolutely. We tend to have a chalk station. We have trees sometimes that they can come and get. We'll have a bounce house that they can use. And then we have the amazing North Lake Jazz Band that comes out, and we have a good country and swing band that's out there too. So there's food trucks, dancing, and, caring about the environment.
Sounds like a lot of fun. Okay, Emily, this is something that anyone who pays an electric bill will definitely want to know about. The Home Energy Fair. What do viewers discover at this event?
Sure. Well, 2019 was the first time we had it, and we were so excited because there was a big demand for it. So you're right, especially this time of year when you start getting your energy bills and you're saying, where is this coming from? I'm trying to keep my thermometer, like not too bad. But it's all about how to make your home more energy efficient. So we had different vendors, such as like solar companies, companies that will do energy audits, residential energy companies. We even had Home Depot there as well. So DIY type of people, all about ways you can make your home more energy efficient. So maybe that's helping seal your windows. Maybe that's installing solar panels. We get questions about that all the time. So we wanted to be kind of a one-stop shop for anyone that's interested in these energy topics to come and learn more from the experts. So they could browse around to the different tables, the different booths, and talk to people about it. And it was a really successful event and people were really excited about it. So it's something we definitely want to continue doing in the future and have more energy themed events and classes, because that's something that people are really excited about.
And that's definitely great. Okay, so Melissa, you also sponsor an environmental career symposium. Who should actually attend that and what will they learn?
That's a great question. Actually, that just happened this past 2019 too, was our first year in it. And it's the Environmental Career Symposium. We partnered with NCTCOG, the North Central Texas Council of Governments, as well as TXU, the headquarters, their building and facilities in Irving. We used that facility for the event. And really, this is targeted to your, I would even say upper junior high, and then definitely all of high school. And then any college, undergrad or graduate, and then really any adult who is interested in changing their career, that has an interest in environmental. And that's a very broad topic. So that would cover anything from, do I want to work for a local government, state government, or federal agency or government entity? Do I want to work for the private sector? Do I want to be a consultant in environmental engineering? It covers a lot of different disciplines and a lot of different areas. There's a lot of private sectors who have divisions and departments in environmental studies. So those are all different areas. And we wanted to really reach out to, again, the junior high, the high school, college, and then adult age, so people can know, do you have an interest in this? And you may have an interest in it, but not know exactly how to facilitate a career in it. You may have a skill set where you're very good at engineering, but didn't know that there was an environmental engineering area. Again, you may have an environmental public policy interest or background, but don't know exactly how to apply that degree to a career. And so we wanted to have and facilitate that workforce dialogue with Irving residents and be able to say, do you have this interest or skill set? And if you do, come to this and we can help you and be that conduit to put you in contact with people that could build your career and help you in those efforts.
I love it. You know, back in the day when I was going to career fairs and I was younger, which was many, many years ago, they would say, oh, are you going to be a doctor or a teacher, a nurse? It was very limited. But I love now that things have changed and you're giving people the opportunity to learn about all the different careers that are available out there, especially when it comes to helping the environment, because, we've all got to help save the earth. We're just about out of time, ladies, but as we get ready to close, I want to ask you both. First, we'll start with you, Melissa. What advice can you give viewers who want to do their part to help the environment?
Absolutely. And I would say step one is do some of Emily's classes. They're really beneficial. And I would say look at that green neighbor. Look at the green neighbor list and the checklist. It is voluntary. It is online. It's self-paced. Take your time, look at it, see some of those initiatives that you can do. And even if you don't want to apply, which we encourage you to apply, but even if you don't want to, it's a great checklist as it relates to what are the things that you can do. So those are the things you can do at your home. And then as it relates to Emily's classes, she can teach you how to implement some of those things. And so I think definitely sign up for some of her classes. And then my third thing is definitely come out to our events. If you have an interest in environmental career, come to the symposium. If you want just to listen to some good music and have some good food and learn about bikes, come to Bike Fest. I think there's really an event for everybody.
That's definitely good news. And so, Emily, same question for you. Other than really participating in the events and maybe getting enrolled in one of your wonderful classes, what can viewers do to help the environment?
Well, that's a great question, and something I really try to drive home in a lot of my classes and when I'm speaking to the public about this is going green is very personal for everyone's different life. Because I know sometimes I'll go online, on Instagram, and I'll see people living zero waste and these super eco-friendly lives. And it feels like, oh no, I can't do that. That's overwhelming. And the thing is, not everyone has to do that. You have to find the first step that works for you. So the thing I really like to do is I kind of think about it throughout the day. Okay, what am I doing right now? Am I eating lunch? Do I have a plastic cup I'm drinking out of? Am I using plastic silverware? Well, that's step one. Just replace that with reusable. So little steps like that you can take throughout the day. And that's how you build any habit, right? Is you just take it one step at a time, slowly, and you find what works for you and your household, because everyone's going to be a little bit different. But if everyone starts taking these small steps, then it leads to the greater good. So really find what works for you, what interests you, and then be a leader to your friends and family and tell them about it. And, maybe they'll start taking the small steps too. So that's what I would encourage people to do, is find what works for them and find what they can really effectively implement into their everyday life.
I love that. So Emily, before we go, I want to talk to you about that. When you talk about those small steps, I know like back in the day you would see recycling bins and people would use them and you'd be like, what are they doing? What's that for? But now they've become the norm. We have them in our homes. We take out our trash and have a separate for recycle, which is a good thing. People are taking their part and helping to do what they can do to help the environment, and all kinds of steps are being made. I had a neighbor ask me the other day, so can I have your coffee grinds? And I'm like, sure, I don't drink coffee, but if I ever do, I'll be sure to give them to you. But it's all about taking those steps and being aware of what we can do. So I know you have these wonderful classes, but for now, are there some tips maybe that you can offer of small steps people can start taking now to make a big difference?
Sure. Well, a really popular one that got very popular a couple months ago is single-use plastics. And I know people were really focused on straws, but think about other things you use in your life. Plastic water bottles, the big 2-liter things of soda, things like that. And try to eliminate those as much as you can. And really, it ends up being easier and you have less trash that you're throwing out. And I would also encourage looking at ways you can reuse things and mend things. So I talked about this in a video recently, that we have a big cultural thing right now is if your shirt gets a hole in it, you just throw it away. Whereas in the past, people would take effort to mend it and buy things that are made of better quality that will last longer. So that's one important thing that I think people can really start to implement in their lives, is fixing instead of just throwing away, or borrowing from their neighbors instead of just ordering something, online really quickly. You can just ask your neighbor, hey, do you have this thing that I'm only going to need once every 6 months? Instead of ordering my own, I can just borrow from my friends and my family. So those are kind of simple ways that, and like I said, just auditing your life, like Melissa mentioned before, just take a look at everything you're doing and you'll find really small things that are easy to change.
Great advice. Thank you both so much for being here today. We truly appreciate it.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
You're so welcome. And I'm sure we're all looking forward to enjoying Think Green, Be Green classes and events very soon. And you can keep up with the latest news at cityofirving.org/570, which will take you to the Think Green, Be Green webpage. Thank you for watching. I'm Starlene Stringer. Please be sure to tune in Thursday, July 2nd, for the next edition of Open Line. We'll see you then.